Hey guys, welcome back. How are you? Jake here. I just want to run you through something very cool that I've just created. It's my first ever ebook. Here, I've got my Bitcoin book Bible. Can you believe it? Frankly, this is years and years of work, all combined into a simple, curated list of books that have helped me an immense amount on my Bitcoin journey. So I pulled them all together. It's 35 books to help every investor allocate into Bitcoin safely. Now, for those of you that are looking into Bitcoin for the first time, you will be amazed at how many different subjects this topic touches on. Now, the reason is very simple: money touches everything. The obvious ones like economics or finance, but then it's through to things like health, specifically human health, and then things like human rights. How does it affect people when certain types of money can be abused by those that control them? Well, the answers to those questions are in these books. I've got fictional books and I've got non-fiction books. Interestingly enough, sometimes when it's a fictional scenario, it helps to really highlight some of the problems with the world that exist. And I suggest you dig into those books just as much as then the fact-driven non-fiction books. Now, it was impossible, and I mean this, impossible, to rank these books in terms of most important down to least important. So I've done it in terms of duration read time. Now, for different speeds of reader, obviously this will change, but you get the point. I've got a short introduction here explaining why I put this list together, who I am, and what journey I've been on. But as you can see here, some huge titles that people just don't miss on this journey, like Atlas Shrugged. It's written years and years and years ago, but somehow makes me understand the difference between the productive, the unproductive, the state, and the free market. The Creature from Jekyll Island, like what is central banking? Where did it even come from? The sovereign individual. Like, what is the mindset of people that could be enabled as a result of decentralized and digital technology? Let's see where it all takes us. Just to take a couple of my favorites from this next page, the Bitcoin Standard. I mean, frankly, if you haven't read that book and you're researching Bitcoin, then what are you doing? Get hold of it. Get a copy, read it. It's brilliant. And frankly, the Fiat Standard was helpful as well. There are so many books to go through. Here, Reminiscences of a Stock Operator is popping out at me. This is a 100-year-old book, and it's fictional in a sense. It follows the life of an American investor. But what's interesting about it is the mentality and behavior of humans is very, very, very much the same today as it was back then. How do we behave? Why do we behave? And what does that do to price? And what is value versus price? All critical, critical questions. The fourth turning. The idea of a saeculum was first put together by the Romans. It covers the idea of a human lifetime, and in one lifetime, call it 80 years, all of the experiences that one has during that time create an echo, which tends to be your at least children, but maybe even your children's children. But after 3 generations, everyone's kind of forgotten all the lessons that grandparent taught them. And as a result, history rhymes. It repeats itself. Why on earth do we manage to have these extraordinary moments of catastrophe again and again and again? Well, this book has a brilliant framing that helps you go through that. And here, a couple of fantastic ones. Layered Money. This just works so well from a perspective of like, what is the history of money, and takes you through the different types of money. The Price of Tomorrow. Well, I mean, shout out to Jeff. He's been on my podcast in the past. Just a brilliant view on the world. Why is it when technology is making things cheaper, making things faster, making things stronger? We now have an iPhone with limitless songs versus a CD player versus a record player. Why is that happening at the same time as prices going up? It doesn't make sense. Things should be getting cheaper over time. And then here, so Knut Svanholm, one of my favorite authors, he packs a punch. None of his books are very long, but every single one of them doesn't mess around and get straight to the point. 21 Lessons by Gigi is an absolute favorite as well. Like, there's so many similar lessons that everyone has to learn, but here summarized nicely. And lastly, Anatomy of the State. I mean, the Austrian School of Economics is so powerful, so insightful, yet completely and utterly like devoid in my educational background. Like, why is that? You have to start learning about a world of philosophy, economics, and thinking that is anti-government in some ways, and therefore isn't in the centralized educational systems that so many of us have been through. Here, the book that's jumping out at me, the Bitcoin Handbook. Like, Anil has just pulled together in such an easy way. Under a couple of hours, you can go through this, all of the main subjects that you need to understand as you go through it.